all your questions, everything you need to cash in on Super Bowl Sunday. Like I said, this is our first of 2 shows today, so if you can't stay for the full 2 hours now, 4 to 6 later. Throw your questions in the chat. Every time we hit another 2,000 likes, we'll do a quick poll. Those polls will be related to Super Bowl Sunday. SBF says Philly by 7. Interesting bet. I like it. I'm not crazy about the 7, but I like the Philly. Zach Tramp, a very loyal follower. Zach, hope you're having a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday morning. Do you bet on underdog? No, I don't. Not one of the sports books I bet on. Paul says, go Birds. I agree with you. It's a big Birds day if you're a fan of the Eagles. They're my pick today. There has been line movement. Want to make sure I update you guys on that. We were holding steady at Eagles -1.5 for about a week, but overnight that line has moved. It's now Eagles -1, Eagles -1. So public money and sharp money has come down on the Chiefs. So you're getting better odds on the Philadelphia Eagles now than you were earlier in the week. Definitely an opportunity if you like the Eagles to take Eagles on the cover. You're getting Eagles -1 at -110 odds. I love that play. Yeah, and to many of you, happy Puppy Bowl day. I know for a lot of non-football fans, it's the Puppy Bowl that gets their attention. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports, and of course, hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. We have a lot of content up there now, as well as some merchandise, so go check that out. The link is in your bio, buttfumblesports.com. Appreciate all of you joining us. If you have questions about Super Bowl 57, whether it's game picks, total plays, anything that you need. Not the smart money, the sharp money. The sharp money's coming down on it. What are 2 of my top player prop bets of the day? I really like Isaiah Pacheco over 47.5. I like Isaiah Pacheco over 47.5. I also really like Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown, over 7.5 receptions, over total yardage. So I really like Travis Kelce. I'm also leaning towards Miles Sanders under 61.5 total rushing yards. I think that the Chiefs' run defense is going to be better than people think against Miles Sanders. One more player prop bet that I like Patrick Mahomes under his total passing yards. I know I'm alone on that one. I'm definitely going against the herd, but I like the under on total passing yards for Patrick Mahomes. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. If you have questions, we have answers. Throw your questions in the chat, whether it's player prop bets, total plays, or game picks. We're here for all of it. Rappaport is reporting Hurts is hurt. That's why the line is moving. I don't think that's why the line is moving. I think a lot of people are betting on the Chiefs today. I actually don't think that's why the line is moving. I think that's a false notion to say because Jalen Hurts is hurting, that's why the line movement happened. No, I don't actually think if he was hurt 2 weeks ago, he's hurt now. That's not going to create the line movement at this point in the Super Bowl betting process. It's actually money coming down that's going to move odds. So that's wrong. Appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Assorted Stuff says, I like Eagles -20 as a bet. -20 seems a little much, but that said, I love the Eagles today as well. Jim Junkie 3, I'm on the Chiefs. Okay. Folks are pounding the Chiefs. That's right. And this is one of those situations where you want to fade the public. If the public and a lot of Vegas is going with the Chiefs, I actually think that makes it a good time to take the Eagles. I don't know what's changed over the last 48 hours that would make me feel differently about the Eagles. They had the best pass defense in the NFL. They have a balanced offense. They're really the better team. Complete 53-man roster comparisons. For a lot of reasons, I like the Eagles now. I liked the Eagles before, and I probably will like them a couple hours from now. Yeah, exactly. Wubba 4, you're dead on. Some people think that line movement happens just because Ian Rappaport or others come out with an injury report. That's not how betting lines move. Betting lines move by the amount of money that's then put into the pot. That's going to change the odds. So again, much like the stock market, stocks don't move off of news. Stocks move off of money being moved in and out of their accounts, or money being moved, the amount of shareholders that they have. So news can come out about something. A CEO is, having a sex affair. That's not actually what changes the value of a company or a stock. Same thing can be said with betting. So Jalen Hurts being hurt doesn't change that right now. It's the money coming in betting on the Chiefs that's going to change that line. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports. By the way, if you have questions about anything, whether it's Super Bowl 57, how to bet, what bets I like, but also literally how to bet, what goes behind sports betting, happy to answer those as well. 405 Davin, I have Travis Kelce auto mini helmet. How much do you think it would go for if they win the Super Bowl? Probably not that much more than it goes for now. Those kinds of things, they have a market, they have a demand. I don't think it's going to massively increase because he's a 2-time Super Bowl winner just yet. You might want to hold on to it for a few years. Should I take A.J. Brown or Hurts over half a touchdown? I like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. He's the play for me. A.J. Brown over 5 receptions. That's an interesting one. I like Devontae Smith over total receptions. Let's do some research quickly on A.J. Brown. I like to check his game log to see how he's been performing late. Man, he has 4-3, 4-4. I would not take A.J. Brown over 5 receptions. He has only hit that once in his last 5 games. He hasn't hit that at all in his last 4, hasn't hit in the playoffs. So I'd avoid that play. Jim Junkie is right. Chris Jones is a beast. And if there's any matchup I'm most excited about today, it's Jason Kelce against Chris Jones. Whoever wins that matchup, Jason Kelce, center of the Eagles, going up against Chris Jones, defensive tackle of the Chiefs. Whoever wins that matchup, that team's going to win the Super Bowl in my mind. Now, I'm saying Jason Kelce will win that more often than not. I think Chris Jones will have a couple good plays, but I don't think he's going to be the kind of factor that he was in the Cincinnati AFC Championship game. But that's the big matchup to me. A lot of people can be talking about cornerbacks on wide receivers, or how are the Eagles going to stop Travis Kelce? To me, Jason Kelce against Chris Jones, that's going to determine who wins the Super Bowl. Who's winning? Drew, I have the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I like Eagles to win the Super Bowl because the line has moved and I can get the Eagles -1. I would take that now. Earlier in the week, I did take Chiefs +3. I think this is going to be a tight game, 23-21, 24-23. I think it's going to be really, really tight. I like the under in this game. I bought the 1.5 to get it up, but under 52.5 is definitely what I'm going for. But I think this is a tight game. Like I said, 24-23, 23-21. I think this is a tight game. I could see a team going for 2 and missing. I could see a missed kick. So I could see a number of ways you get to 2-point differential, but I do like Eagles -1. I feel like the worst you're going to do is a push. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And of course, hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for our free newsletter. Check out all of our content, and of course, check out our store with some great merch. Oh, the doctor is in with some great analysis. The team that scores the most will win. That is brilliant. Outstanding. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. By the way, one person just put out their score prediction 28-24. Based off of how I was betting the total, that would still hit the under. One of the reasons I want to buy the 1.5, get it up to 52.5, is because that 28-24 score sounds pretty good to me. But if it hits, it's 52 points. It stays under that 52.5. That's kind of the ceiling for me. I don't think either team's going to hit 30 points. I think the highest someone will score is 28. I think 28-24 is a really good score. So one of the reasons I like the under 52.5 once I buy it up. Who's going to win the Super Bowl MVP? For me, it's going to be Jalen Hurts. Whoever you like to win this game, I would automatically bet their quarterback to win the Super Bowl MVP. And it's for one simple reason. I'm not trying to be political, but this is the first Super Bowl between 2 African-American quarterbacks. There is no way the NFL is not going to give the MVP to one of these 2 quarterbacks. It is a PR dream. There is no way the NFL is going to give it to Travis Kelce or someone else. They will give the Super Bowl MVP to the winning quarterback. I feel so sure of that. I think it's a lock. Eagles gave up a lot of points to any good core. I think the Eagles defense is all of a sudden getting a lot of doubt. I don't know why. Sure, you could say they didn't play a lot of great offenses, but this team is loaded. Defensive front, linebacker, secondary. This is a really complete defense. So for a number of reasons, I don't care who they've played in the past. I care about the talent they have. I think they're going to cause problems for the Chiefs today. Good MVP bets are Reddick or A.J. Brown, but likely Hurts. See, I don't think Reddick or A.J. Brown are good bets, especially not A.J. Brown. Like, there's no way another offensive player for the Eagles is going to get it over Jalen Hurts. That's my opinion. Miles Sanders would literally have to have like a 3-touchdown game for him to get it over Hurts. Reddick, if you want to take a defensive player, like sure, but I don't see any way that the NFL is going to pass up the opportunity to give the Super Bowl MVP to either Mahomes or to Hurts. Someone here saying the Eagles are going to win by 4. Interesting take. Mama Kelce is blessed. Yeah, clearly she raised her boys right, fed them right. Will there be a Philly special? No, I don't think so in this game. Okay. Kiwi coming in hot. Oh, we've hit our benchmark. Thank you so much, Jacob. We have hit over 2,000 likes. So let's get a quick poll going. Appreciate all of you guys who hit the like button. We'll do a quick poll, excuse me. So our first quick poll of the day, this kind of goes to what we were talking about earlier about defensive players. Which player will have more sacks today? Which player will have more sacks? Smiley face for Chris Jones, crying face for Hassan Reddick. Here we go with our first quick poll. Which defensive player will have more sacks today? Smiley face for Chris Jones, crying face for Hassan Reddick. Both had monster conference championship games. What do you guys think? Which player will have more sacks today? Smiley face for Chris Jones, crying face for Hassan Reddick. I will give my analysis after we do the poll, as well as a prop bet that I really like related to this. So definitely stick around for that. Smiley face Chris Jones, crying face Hassan Reddick. Which defensive player will have more sacks today? Getting your vote. We do these quick polls every time we hit 2,000 likes. Smiley face Chris Jones, crying face Hassan Reddick. Which defensive player will have more sacks in Super Bowl 57? And yeah, we're getting started early on the soda. We're trying to get our energy up early in the morning. Coming down the final few seconds, smiley face Chris Jones, crying face Hassan Reddick. Who will have more sacks today? You guys are going with Hassan Reddick. Whether I like that or not, I lean towards Hassan Reddick only because the offensive line of the Chiefs isn't as good. But the reason I brought this up, I love over 5 sacks today in this game. Some places you can get it at 5, some 5.5. I think this is going to be a 6-sack or more Super Bowl. So I love if you could get over total sacks today. It is definitely one of the plays I love the most. Definitely something to look at. Duffel bag, you've been such a loyal follower throughout the season. I want to give a big shout out to all the Butt Fumble Sports followers who have been here with us throughout these many weeks of the regular season and the playoffs. Vanilla Sports is another one. Big shout out to all of you guys. We are closing in on 41,000 followers on TikTok, over 45,000 followers across all of our platforms. Make sure you're a part of the Butt Fumble Sports community. Hit that link in the bio, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, sign up for the free newsletter, and of course, get yourself some merchandise. We have some great t-shirts and a lot of other things. Make sure you check that out. What's the report on Patrick Mahomes? I'm hearing not only is he a full go, he would be considered 100% given his status. By the way, Chris, you're totally right. Like the worst thing to wake up and to have, I definitely should go with some tea or something else. Now, the O-line is so good, I predict not many sacks today. Okay, the reason I say that, first of all, I think Frank Clark gets a sack. Second, I think Chris Jones gets a sack. Third, I think Hassan Reddick gets a sack. Those are 3 sacks right there. That's not talking about linebackers. That's not talking about a quarterback who kind of stumbles or tries to get out of the pocket and is taken down. Keep in mind, these are 2 mobile quarterbacks, so they like to try to get out of the pocket. But if they don't make it back to the line of scrimmage, that could be deemed a sack. So with that said, I feel like there are opportunities to get sacks in this game, even though these are 2 talented quarterbacks and 2 good offensive lines. So over 5 sacks today is one play that I really like. Make sure you're hitting that follow button at Butt Fumble Sports. Make sure you're following us. We just hit 4,500 likes. When we hit 5,000, we'll do another quick poll. How about that? 5,000, we do another quick poll. I just made a parlay with Hurts TD, Kelce TD, Eagles spread. What do you think? Drew, I really like it. I really like that play. What do you think is a safer bet? Over 40 points or under 60? I would say over 40 points for sure. I say that, and only because I do like the under 60, but what I would say is there is a greater chance that this game goes crazy with points than it's a really low-scoring game. I think over 40 is a pretty safe play, so I like the over 40 is the safer bet. Under 60, even though I like the under 52.5, if I'm wrong, there's going to be a ton of points. If I got my prediction wrong and my analysis and my modeling, then points could be quite frequent. That said, one thing to note, the referee Carl Schaefer's, the under has been very popular when he's been a head referee. I think it's something like in his 12 games as a playoff referee, the under is like 10-1, 11-1, so something crazy like that. Travis is saying Eagles win 31-27. Okay. Like I said, once we get up to 5,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. I know I said 4,000 earlier, but we're going to stretch it a little bit because you guys have been so great. So keep hitting that like button, or you can give us the gift of a football, and we will go right to a poll or right to a question, depending on who gave the gift, what they want to do. I don't know why everyone is on the Eagles today because y'all going to be real upset. Well, we'll find out. I like the Eagles today because historically, the better team wins. And maybe even more importantly, the better defense wins. We talk a lot about head coach. We talk a lot about quarterback. But if you look through history, the better defense wins. The better complete team wins. This game is reminding me a little bit of the 2018 Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Eagles. Patriots had Tom Brady. Patriots had Bill Belichick. Yeah, but the Eagles had the better offensive line, the better defense. It didn't matter who their quarterback was. They were the better team. They ultimately won. Appreciate all you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. We just hit 5,000 likes, so we will do another quick poll. Here's our quick poll for you. Over, under 7.5 receptions for Travis Kelce. Over or under 7.5 receptions for Travis Kelce. Smiley face for over, crying face for under. Let's do this quick poll. Travis Kelce, over under 7.5 total receptions. Smiley face if you think he gets 8 catches or more. Crying face if you think it's 7 or less. Make sure you throw in your vote. I'll give my analysis right after we complete the poll, as well as the player prop bet that I like to go with it. This poll question, will Travis Kelce have 8 catches and more or less? So 7.5 is the total. Smiley face if you like the over, that's 8 catches or more. Crying face if you like the under, that's 7 catches or less. Make sure you're throwing your vote in the chat. Appreciate all you guys getting up and joining us for this 2-hour show. We're going to be live from 10 to 12, as well as from 4 to 6. So make sure you join us for both shows. This quick poll question, smiley face over, crying face under, Travis Kelce, 7.5 receptions. If you think Kelce gets 8, smiley face. If you think it's 7, crying face. Final votes are in. Final results are in. You guys like the over, and I do as well. I like Travis Kelce over 7.5 receptions. I'm getting that at -115. He has 8 or more catches in 3 of his 4 last playoff games. He only had 7 in the AFC Championship game against the Bengals, but the 3 previous games, he had at least 8 catches for a number of reasons. I like Travis Kelce today. Anytime touchdown, over his total yardage, and I really love over 7.5 receptions. Do I think the game will go to overtime? No, I don't. I don't think the game will go to overtime. Kelce will be Mahomes' number 1 option. That's exactly why I like that play. I think Kelce getting targeted as many times as he will, they'll force feed him the ball. I like him getting 8 catches. Kelce over 95 receiving yards. That seems a little high. I got it at 77.5, and I feel great about that. I really feel like he's going to be anywhere from 85 to 100 receiving yards, but 95, you're kind of tipping on the high end of that. Doesn't feel great. It depends what the odds are. In Super Bowl history, if the MVP of the league is playing, he's never won. Not just, actually, that's not true. That's not true. The Super Bowl MVP, the regular season MVP has won a Super Bowl before. Here's an interesting note, though. In the last 9 Super Bowls in which the MVP played, he has lost. And more importantly, the quarterback who had the most passing yards during the regular season, the passing yards king of the regular season, has never won the Super Bowl. One more time, the quarterback who had the most passing yards in the regular season has never won the Super Bowl. Guess who had the most passing yards this season? Patrick Mahomes. Appreciate all you guys joining us. Okay, Pindle J plus 225. I do like that bet. You're getting great odds on that. So I would take the over Travis Kelce, over 95 receiving yards. Since you're getting it at plus 225, I like those odds for that reason. Amanda saying Mahomes is going to break that record. Well, if there's any quarterback who could do it, Patrick Mahomes is showing his brilliance on a week-in, week-out basis. He is the most dynamic quarterback that we can remember. So that said, if there is someone who could break some of these established stats, he's definitely one of them. Make sure you're throwing your questions in the chat. Butt Fumble Sports is here for the next hour and 40 minutes. We're going to be talking all things Super Bowl 57. So if you have questions, we have answers, game picks, total plays, player prop bets. We're here to give out all of it. Adam, Kelce getting 2 touchdowns. I don't think he does. I don't think it's a terrible bet because you'll probably get good odds on it. But I do think Kelce will only get 1 receiving touchdown today. It comes down to coaching and quarterback. Who has the better duo? See, I don't think it actually comes down to a quarterback and head coach. That is an NBA Finals way of thinking. Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson, Shaq and Phil Jackson. You know, who has the better coach? Who has the better, star player? The NFL does not work that way. It doesn't. Just look at the Super Bowl the Chiefs lost to the Buccaneers a couple years ago. Andy Reid versus Bruce Arians. I'm pretty sure we would say Andy Reid is the better head coach. Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. Whatever you thought of Tom Brady that year, I'm sure we all would have said Patrick Mahomes is probably closer to his prime. So for a number of reasons, it's usually the better team. Better offensive line, better defense, better special teams. For a number of reasons, I think the Eagles are the better team today. I think they're the team worth betting on. J-Dub333 says, first score a safety. Nah, I'm not going to go with it. MVS over 2.5 receptions. I do like that one. I do think MVS will have at least 3 catches. Did you see the report about Vic Fangio coaching the Eagles before the Super Bowl? No, I did not see that. Interesting, because he has a lot of experience against the Chiefs. Not a lot of success, but he has experience against them. Appreciate all you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Jack says Devontae Smith over 63 yards and 1 touchdown. I love that play, Jack. I'd also go with his over receptions. I really like Devontae Smith today. One note for me that really stood out about that, you think about Travis Kelce is going to be the receiver, the target that Patrick Mahomes goes to when he's under pressure, when he's looking for his guy. Who's that on the other side for Jalen Hurts? It's Devontae Smith. He's played in big games at Alabama with him. Who does he go to in the clutch? To me, it's going to be Devontae Smith. Will the game go into overtime? I don't think so. Will Gainwell get a touchdown? Nope, I'm not going with Kenneth Gainwell today. First touchdown scorer, I really like Isaiah Pacheco as one possibility. Miles Sanders or Jalen Hurts would be the other. Okay, someone's putting the house on KC. I hope by the end of the day you're not homeless. Okay, Duffelbag, a very loyal follower, asks, Dallas Goedert over 4.5 receptions. I don't like that one. I would lean slightly towards the under. I just wouldn't touch it. I'm not crazy about it either way. I could see him getting 5, but to me, there's more of an outside chance of that. I would dodge it a little bit. I wouldn't touch Goddard on total receptions. If you like Dallas Goedert, maybe anytime touchdown's a good play, maybe total yards, but I'm not crazy about receptions. Something's telling me that's going to be a bit tighter than we think. And you think I didn't mean head coaching only. I'm talking Mahomes, Spags, Reed. Okay, I think Andy Reid is not a good big game head coach. Like historically, that's true. So he's a great coach. He's not a great big game head coach. So for a number of reasons, I actually don't give a major advantage to the Chiefs just because Andy Reid is coaching. That said, Spags is a different story. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo is one of the best defensive coordinators in Super Bowl history when you think about it, going up against those Patriots of 2007 and shutting them down to only 17 points. Spags has a history of being a very successful defensive coordinator in big games. I do like him to throw a lot at Jalen Hurts. Mahomes, he's obviously got an advantage. There's no doubt about that. But he's facing the best pass defense in the NFL through the regular season. So I don't think his advantage is as great. Much like Andy Reid, we're going to put them on a pedestal, but I don't think they're going to contribute as big an advantage as Spags. I actually think Spags is going to play a big role as defensive coordinator. By the way, Duffel Bag, thank you so much for the gift. Appreciate that so much. Duffel Bag, if you have a question, make sure you throw it in the chat. Definitely here to answer questions for those who give a gift. Jared Ford, appreciate the football. Same goes for you, Jared. If you have a question, make sure you throw it in the chat. I'll get to it right away. By the way, don't forget to keep pressing that like button. Once we hit 6,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll at 6,000 likes. Party Outback is getting into some deep shit. Last play a kneel down. Ooh, that's a great question. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say the last play is a kneel down. TC Mish fans for Kansas City. Okay, Vicky. Clearly some people are believing in the Chiefs. Okay, Leonard's got Eagles winning 31-27. I like it. Whoever wins the coin toss loses. Yeah, that actually has been a hot trend lately. The team that wins the coin toss, I think, has lost something like 9 straight Super Bowls, 7 straight Super Bowls, something like that. The world will know who Devontae Smith is today, just not sure of the touchdown. First of all, I hope the world knows who Devontae Smith is already. He won a Heisman. But that said, I think Devontae Smith is going to have a really strong game today. I think he's going to be the number one target for Hurts. Not maybe in terms of total yards. I could see A.J. Brown getting more yards. But in terms of receptions, I think it's Devontae Smith. And especially on clutch downs. 3rd down, maybe even a 4th down, red zone. I think Devontae Smith's going to have a really good game. Okay, color of the Gatorade. I thought I saw something like Lane Johnson came out, I'm pretty sure, and he was like, we only drink lime Gatorade. There was something like that. I want to double check on that to make sure I'm giving it out correct. But Lane Johnson talked about this, and he said there was only one. So Lane Johnson mentioned on a podcast that the Eagles have had yellow Gatorade on their sideline all season long. One more time. Lane Johnson, right tackle of the Philadelphia Eagles. He said that the Eagles have had yellow Gatorade on their sideline all season long. Yellow-green Gatorade is now the number one bet at BetMGM. So yellow, lime, Gatorade, they go together. Those odds for that are plus 145. I'm going to jump on that, by the way, right now. That is a bet I hadn't made yet. I saw that note earlier in the week, and I just hadn't bet it. Probably a mistake because I lost out on some odds. But let's have some fun. Let's bet on some of the things. By the way, we will also talk coin toss in just a minute, so keep hitting that like button. Once we hit 6,000 likes, we will talk coin toss, so you won't want to miss that. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. By the way, my sportsbook now has lime, green, yellow Gatorade at minus 150. Just tells you that was a bet I should have made earlier in the week. I'm still going to take it. I'll put 3 units down on it. Will a non-quarterback throw a touchdown? I don't think so. And part of the reason I say that is these aren't two teams that have former quarterbacks. Actually, I say that Travis Kelce was a former quarterback in high school, so maybe, but I'm not crazy about it. How do I bet the national anthem and Gatorade? Well, I just gave out a note on the Gatorade. I like the lime, green, yellow option. I know you're going to get the toughest odds on that, but according to Lane Johnson at least, lime, yellow, green is the number one Gatorade that the Eagles have had on the sideline. The only other bet I would consider putting down for Gatorade would be orange at plus 260 where I see it. As for the national anthem, it's Chris Stapleton, the country singer, who will be singing it. Right now, the sports book that I look at has the over-under for the national anthem at 2 minutes and 3 seconds. I actually must have gotten lucky because I said the under earlier in the week, and I got that at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So I feel really good about that bet now. given that the line has moved down. I would still consider maybe the under. It's a country singer. He's not going to stretch it out. He's not going to be verbose or be overly theatrical about it. I think it's going to be tight. Jared Ford, want to shout you out. If you guys have questions, you, Jared, Duffel Bag, if you guys give a gift, I'll get to your questions right away. Always the way we handle it here. By the way, you're right, Amanda. McKinnon played quarterback as well. Forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good call, Amanda. Big Baller 28, Devontae Smith, anytime touchdown. I did put down 1 unit on that. Brown, not as crazy about that. I think Brown could get the yards, not the touchdown. I'll go Devontae Smith for the touchdown. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. We just hit 6,000 likes, so we'll do another quick poll. Here's our next quick poll. What are you guys voting today for the coin toss? Smiley face heads, crying face tails. Again, what are you going for the coin toss? Smiley face heads, crying face tails. Let me know what you guys think. Smiling face heads, crying face tails. What will be the coin toss for the Super Bowl today? Smiling face heads, crying face tails. By the way, I'm sure there are stats out there about past coin tosses. As we know from stats class in high school or college, that has no bearing on today. So, random coin toss today, brand new day. Nothing that the past has anything to do with that. Smiley face heads, crying face tails. What will we see today? I'll get back to your questions in just a moment after we finish this quick poll. Smiley face heads, crying face tails. What will be the result of the coin toss today? Once we're done with the poll, I'll give my take. Again, history has no bearing on this one. This is purely a today's pick. Smiley face heads, crying face tails for the coin toss. We're tied right now. Smiley face heads, crying face tails. We have a tie. We have a tie on the heads or tails. All right, I'll be the tiebreaker. I'm going to go with heads. I'm going to go with heads today. I know they say tails never fails, and if I were out there, I would pick tails, but as someone who's putting money down on it, I'll actually take heads today. I've heard a rumor in the past. I worked in sports media for over 15 years, and one of the things I always heard is that for Super Bowls, college football playoffs, for these kind of specialty games, they make a custom coin, and what I've heard is heads is always heavier. Take that for what it is, but I've heard heads is heavier, and thus it is more likely to land on it. Whether that's true or not, someone told me that once. Maybe they were just suckering me into some heads bets. Marius, what's up, bro? Hope you're having a great Super Bowl Sunday morning. Okay, A Baltimorean. McKinnon dropped off a little. Thoughts on him for today? So I really like McKinnon in the passing game. I'm not crazy about him in the running game as much as I am Pacheco, but I really like Jerick McKinnon in the passing game. I think there's a really good chance that he gets a number of catches. I think Mahomes, given the pressure the Eagles are going to apply on him, there are going to be times he's just going to need to dump the ball off to the running back. Whether it's early in the play or late in the play when he's feeling the pressure, Jerick McKinnon's a good blocker and a good safety valve if you need to get the ball out. So I like Jerick McKinnon. I say that. I actually now want to check what his total receptions is at. So give me one moment. By the way, we're going live for another hour and a half. We have another show that we're going to do at 4 p.m. And we're going to do just this. I'm going to go through all of my bets, all of my picks, as well as do my research along with you guys, put in some bets when I have the chance. So I'm looking for total receptions for Jerick McKinnon. Total receptions for him is 3.5. I'm going to take the over on that. I know it's not a popular play because right now I'm getting it at plus 145, but I love that at plus 145. I'll put just 1 unit down on it. Gives me a good chance to be in the plus money, so I'm okay with that. What's your favorite pick for today? I really like Isaiah Pacheco over 47.5 total rushing yards. I love Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown, over total receptions, over total receiving yards. I just love Travis Kelce over everything I can get. I'm taking Miles Sanders under 61.5 total rushing yards. I think the Chiefs' run defense is going to be a bit better than we think. They won't contain Jalen Hurts the same way, but Miles Sanders, I think they'll do a good job with. And one more, I do like Patrick Mahomes under his total passing yards. A bit of a risk, no doubt, but I do like the Eagles' pass defense holding him to under 300. under really 295, 292. I got it at 90.5. I've bought it since at even a higher level. So I think Jalen Hurts will ultimately win Super Bowl MVP as well. I don't like Sky Moore to get a touchdown. I don't feel like this is a day where you can rely on off the, far out bets. I feel like both teams are going to go to the people they rely on. One of the reasons I like him. Matt Courtney 3, appreciate you sharing the like. Please, everyone out there, let others know we're going to be talking football for another hour and a half, as well as later this afternoon. So share the chat, share the channel with others. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We are live right now on TikTok Live and on YouTube. We have a great show going on YouTube. You can see our graphics, all of our player prop bets. So make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Let us know what you think of our live broadcast. Okay, getting a note. News from Ian Rappaport. The Cardinals are expected to interview Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon following the Super Bowl. Okay, cool. Good to note. That will happen on Monday. Great. If you have questions about Super Bowl 57, if you want to get bets in for Super Bowl 57, make sure you throw those in the chat at Fumble Sports. Make sure you're following us. We are here for all of your questions, everything around Super Bowl 57, game picks, total plays, player prop bets, or just to hear some rants on these two teams. So make sure you're throwing those in the chat. And of course, when we hit 8,000 likes, we will do another quick poll. Or if you guys give the gift of a football, we can either do a poll right away, or I'll answer the question of the person who gave the gift. We'll always do that. Adam asks, Eagles or Chiefs? I'm taking Eagles. I like Eagles on the money line. I also like the Eagles to cover -1. Do I think Gronk will hit the field goal? Yeah, I do. Only because they've been hyping it up. Like they've been telling me that this is a thing. So it's not randomly he's pulled onto the field. I think he has probably practiced or done something to prepare for this. I think he's going to hit it. I think Gronk will hit it. I really don't care, by the way. Like, it's one of the dumbest things going on. I really don't care. I actually think it's a stupid marketing campaign. I think it's one way in which Gronk is kind of starting to jump the shark with me a little bit. Like, Gronk is fun. I enjoy him. Some of the commercials, like with Adam Vinatieri, were okay. But talk about things I don't care about is Rob Gronkowski kicking a field goal. Like, you've so missed the boat on that with me, with whichever company was doing that. Like, I really don't care. Duffel bag. Yeah, he's training with Adam Vinatieri in those commercials. We'll see. Yeah, he's practiced. Yeah, exactly. Like, do I think Gronk is going to go out there and embarrass himself? No, I think he'll probably want to make the field goal. So I'm sure he's been practicing. But of all the things around Super Bowl Sunday that I care about, like, I don't care about Gronk kicking a field goal. And this is one where marketing companies, they try to like stir up like some additional interest. I bet on the Super Bowl. I bet on things. There is no way that Gronk kicking a field goal can match the level of excitement I have for literally the coin toss. I have more money on the coin toss than I care about Gronk doing anything in retirement. So it's funny that brands try to get me excited about something. What do I care about Gronk? I care about the national anthem. Like, I'm going to have my stopwatch ready for the national anthem. Why do I care about Gronk kicking a field goal? I mean, Jesus. I get that FanDuel, yeah, that there's 10. By the way, this is a major scam. Like, anytime a sports book is like, we're just giving away money. No, they're not. Like, that's Vegas saying they're giving away free drinks. No, they're not. You're just paying for them with penny slots or with blackjack losings or with craps losings. Like, no, this ain't free. They'll get it back. Don't worry. Appreciate all you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. If you like my takes, want to hear more of my rants, make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Make sure you're following. We put out rants all the time about all things sports. What's my bet for the coin toss? I'm going with heads. I know in life I would say tails never fails, but actually, if I've learned anything from Matthew Slater of the New England Patriots, it's in big games, you bet heads. For some reason, whether it's an overtime or a Super Bowl, you should bet heads in the Super Bowl. That's just me. I know history may say one thing. I'm going with heads today. Great note. I mentioned this earlier, but Adam brings it up again in the chat. A great stat. The last 8 teams that won the coin toss lost the Super Bowl. Really interesting to me. One of the reasons that stands out, a popular trend now is when you win the coin toss to defer until the second half. Obviously, that suggests the team who gets the ball first, whether it's they get an edge or they get just the extra possessions in the first half, that seems to make a difference. So something to keep an eye on. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. If you want more of our content, or if you want a free newsletter with all of my picks and game notes in it every single week, go to our website. There's a link in our bio, buttfumblesports.com. Hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for that free newsletter. It comes out every Friday morning with all of our gambling trends and game notes for games on the weekend. Make sure you go there, sign up for the free newsletter, check out our content. I've put out content around Super Bowl 57, and of course, we've got t-shirts, sweatshirts, a lot of cool stuff. Check it out in our store. Who do I like for an anytime touchdown? I like Jalen Hurts on an anytime touchdown. I like Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. I've also put bets down on Miles Sanders and Isaiah Pacheco. I've also got my eye on Devontae Smith. Jared Ford asks, do I think there'll be any two-time touchdown scores? I'm avoiding it. The only one I could see is Travis Kelce, but for the most part, I'm avoiding that. Just too far a long shot. I'd rather put my money in places that I feel are more consistently safe bets. What do I think about a 50-plus yard field goal? I actually like it, especially because you have Harrison. First of all, it's in a dome. That's advantageous. Two, these are two teams that can get to midfield in a hurry. So if we get down to a final second situation, these teams can get chunk plays. I like that. And finally, Harrison Butker has a big leg. Jason Sanders isn't as big, but I'm still a fan. So with that said, I do, let me make sure I got that right. Oh, it's Jake Elliott. Sorry, Jake Elliott. Confused that. So anyways, Jake Elliott's got a pretty big leg. Harrison Butker does as well. I do like over a 50-yard field goal today. And by the way, sorry to the Jake Elliott fan base. Okay, Dom V official, I'm taking KC 30-24. Okay, you're fading us. I'm going the other direction. I'm taking Eagles, and I like them to cover the -1. Mahomes anytime touchdown is a sleeper. That's not a terrible bet. That is a good sleeper bet. Adam says under 50 total points. Yeah, I love the under. I bought the 1.5. So the total right now is set at 51. I bought it up to 52.5 points. I love that play. I like the under in this game. I think too many people are talking about the offenses. These defenses are better than people think, especially the Eagles. So for a number of reasons, I do like the under. Vanilla Sports asks, Travis Kelce plus 150 for 25 receiving yards in each half. Vanilla Sports, I love it. Love that bet. Love that play. Okay, Boston Scott over 7.5 yards. Gainwell over 19.5. Jorge, I'm not touching him. Not touching him. And one of the reasons I'm not touching those kinds of bets is this is the Super Bowl. I only have so much money to put down. I'm not going to throw money down at things that, even if they seem like a good option, I'm sure you're getting Boston Scott at minus 115 or, minus 110. I don't like it. I would rather put my money down in places that I feel are more easily cash tickets. D. Milton, 87, says Mahomes over 317.5 total yards. I'm going the other direction. I like the under. The Eagles' #1 pass defense in the regular season. I think they're going to play well against the pass today. I think they could get exposed in the running game against Pacheco, but I don't like Mahomes over 300 passing yards. That seems way too high to me. So 317.5 seems really high. Pindle J, what about Hurts and Mahomes anytime touchdowns? Well, obviously I feel really strong about Jalen Hurts on an anytime touchdown, but Mahomes, I don't feel quite as strong. Once we hit 8,000 likes, we will do another quick poll, so keep hitting that like button. Let's get up to 8,000 likes. SHG Vibes, Miles Sanders' first touchdown. Not a terrible play. I'm not big on first touchdown bets. I feel like you're really betting there. It is a real gamble. I don't like to gamble. I don't like to sports bet. I like to study trends and bet trends. So that's something I will definitely say. A lot of you guys out there, you like to bet on things. You like to bet because you like to put money on something. I don't like to put money on things. I like to win money. So I'm not going with something that sounds hot or sexy or is the bright, shiny object. I'm going after bets that I think are going to cash. So Kenneth Gainwell, I'm not touching. Boston Scott, I'm not touching. Sky Moore, I'm not touching. I want to cash tickets. I'm not looking to call out something random and hoping it hits unless there's a trend behind it. Like Boston Scott, anytime touchdown against the New York Giants. That's a great trend. But against the Eagles, or rather against the Chiefs and the Chiefs run defense, there are reasons for me to say, no, I'm not putting my money down on that. Okay, another note, a couple of you guys have already mentioned it. Adam Schefter has mentioned soon-to-be Dolphins defensive coordinator Vic Fangio has been helping the Eagles with Super Bowl prep this week. Yeah, he signed a 2-week contract. Cool. Great. Fun fact. Fun fact for those out there. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. We've got notes coming in from around the NFL. We're hearing these quarterbacks are healthy enough to go. Appreciate all you guys who are joining us. Make sure you're following us. And I don't want to knock, I got my buddy Blease who's sending me these notes. I don't want to sound like I'm dismissing these notes. They're great notes. Blease, you're doing a great job. I'm not knocking them at all. So don't hear it that way. Dom V, this is one of the hardest games I've had to decide on both sides. Teams are legit. I tend to agree with you. I think this is a great Super Bowl matchup. But the only reason that I'm a bit hesitant about saying that this is going to live up to the hype is, are the Chiefs really that good a team? Like, really, I know they just beat the Bengals. There was a lot of trash talk. The Chiefs got up for it. But do the Chiefs have a better offensive line than the Eagles? Do the Chiefs have better wide receivers? Other than quarterback, tight end, and head coach, is there a position that I think the Chiefs are substantially better? Even defensive tackle, where you would say, oh, Chris Jones is by far better. Well, not necessarily. Fletcher Cox is a pretty good defensive tackle. So for a number of reasons, the Eagles are the better team. By the way, again, I want to give a major shout out to the people behind the scenes here at Fumble Sports. I'm talking to you, Blease, talking to Alex Hallmark, Kyle Phelps, and a whole lot of others who make this possible. Thank you for making Fumble Sports such a great broadcast. If you guys are enjoying our broadcast on TikTok Live, check out our stream on YouTube. We have a ton of graphics, player prop bets, visuals that we put up, full screens. So make sure you go to our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports. A lot of great stuff there. Duffel bag, thank you so much for the gift. We're looking for gifts of football so we can hit our live goal. Thank you so much. Jedi Robert, Chiefs 17-13, Mahomes late fourth. That's the kind of low-scoring game I could see, but that's a little outside of what I think. I've got the Eagles winning, so I like the Chiefs maybe on the 17 points or 20 points, but 13 points from the Eagles against the Chiefs defense, I don't see it. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us. We just hit 8,000 likes because you guys are absolutely incredible. Appreciate all the support that you guys show us. Okay, we will do another quick poll. Here's our quick poll question for this one. Let's do, here's a fun one. Patrick Mahomes, over, under, an interception. Smiley face over, crying face over, under, a half an interception. Will Patrick Mahomes throw an interception? Smiley face yes, crying face no. One more time, the next poll question. Will Patrick Mahomes throw an interception? Smiley face yes, crying face no. Will Patrick Mahomes throw an interception? Smiley face yes, crying face no. That's our next quick poll question. I'll give my analysis right after. Smiley face yes, crying face no. Will Patrick Mahomes throw an interception today? Let us know what you guys think. Throw your question or share your vote in the chat. Smiley face yes, crying face no. Will Patrick Mahomes throw an interception today? Smiley face yes, crying face no. Let us know what you guys think. Coming down to the final few seconds of the poll. Smiley face yes, Patrick Mahomes will throw an interception. Crying face no, he won't. Smiley face yes for an interception. Crying face no. Will Patrick Mahomes throw an interception? Right now, it looks like yes has it. If you're voting no, get it in now. Smiley face yes, crying face no. Mahomes interception. You guys vote he's going to throw an interception. I agree with you. I went earlier in the week and put some money down on over half an interception. I think Mahomes will throw at least one interception today. Not sure about two, but I love the one pick. Eagles have been one of the best defenses, like I mentioned, the best defense in the NFL when it comes to against the pass. Love that play. Low Rider 6, will Jalen Hurts get sacked today? Yes, he will. Absolutely. I actually like to over the total sacks today. I got that at over 5. Some people were telling me they got that at 5.5. But I love the total sacks today. Obviously, you understand Hassan, Reddick, and what the Eagles can bring. But if Frank Clark has a chance to be one of the great all-time playoff sack men of all time, right there with Willie McGinnis and Bruce Smith. But also Chris Jones, obviously. So I could see a number of sacks in this game. Which RB gets into the end zone? So I like Pacheco today, and I'm leaning towards Miles Sanders. If McKinnon gets in, I think it'll be on a reception. But I like Pacheco, and I like Miles Sanders the most when it comes to running backs getting into the end zone. Not going on a massive limb there, obviously. I'm thinking is also going to get sacked at least once. Mahomes will. Yeah, I think so. Okay, Kenneth Gainwell over 4.5 rushing attempts. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not going after Gainwell and Boston Scott. I'm not touching them. I can put my money in other places. So for a number of reasons, I'm avoiding that play. Happy to do the research to give you info, but I don't want you to think that I'd actually recommend putting any money down on it. So Gainwell over 4.5 rushing attempts. I mean, in his last game, he had 14. In the game before that, he had 12. And in the game before that, he had 5. So he has hit the over in 5 straight weeks. However, prior to that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he went 5 weeks without doing that. If you want to put some money down on it, maybe I'd take the over, Rob. But it's not something I would do. But based off of that trend I just saw, the over is a hot play. But I wouldn't put money down on it. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. We have about an hour and 10 left of this show, an hour and 10 minutes left of this show. We'll go right up until noon. Then I will be back on at 4 p.m. and do another 2 hours. So make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we go live. Who do I want to win the Super Bowl? I want my team. My team's not playing. So that said, I am picking the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. So I do want the Super Bowl. I do want the Eagles. Funny enough, actually, midway through the season, I did put a bet down on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. This is at a time where the Chiefs were not that hot, so I actually got great odds on that. All my bets this week have been for the Eagles, but if somehow the Chiefs were actually to win the Super Bowl, I'd actually come out about even. That's kind of how I bet it, so. Kind of lucky there. I was just kind of paying attention to the Chiefs' odds during the regular season. Okay, DeBrach. By the way, DeBrach, I always get your name wrong, so forgive me. I never know how to pronounce that. I don't know if it's Dab Rash or DeBrash, or I never know how to do that. But appreciate you being such a loyal follower. I really like the Chiefs' money line. I don't. I like Pacheco, Kelce, Hurts, and Smith anytime touchdown. I do like those 4 guys on anytime touchdowns. I agree with that. Am I excited for the Super Bowl halftime show? Well, first of all, Rihanna's a badass. I'm sure she'll bring it. I'm not really excited for it, actually, only because last year's Super Bowl halftime was probably like the perfect halftime in history. I mean, Dre, Snoop, M, 50 Cent, and of course, Kendrick Lamar, who was fire, and I'm a huge Kendrick guy. So, like, I love all those guys. It was my childhood. By the way, I got to make sure I don't miss Mary J. Blige. Don't want to miss Mary J. But that said, I thought last year's Super Bowl halftime was so amazing that Rihanna will be good, but kind of hard to live up to last year's. Look what KC did to the Niners defense. Man, that was a long time ago, and look what the Eagles just did to the Niners defense. So I'm not quite there. Dylan Hill says Pacheco over 2 receptions. MVS over 2.5 receptions. Pacheco over 2 receptions. I want to check that one. I like MVS getting 3 catches. That I feel good about. So I like Valdez-Scantling getting 3 catches or more. Pacheco, he had 5 catches in his last game, in that Bengals game. But prior to that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 weeks in a row of 2 catches or less. So I'm not crazy about Pacheco 2 receptions. I wouldn't touch that one. Yeah, the Niners defense is never... Look, I'm just going to say this. A lot of people aren't giving the Eagles the kind of respect they deserve. If you remember their Super Bowl run under Doug Peterson, very similar to this one. #1 seed in the NFC, had a blowout win in the NFC Championship game. They went up against an all-time great head coach and quarterback in the Super Bowl. And then what ended up happening? The Eagles won the Super Bowl. Sam Dog, appreciate that. Where can we buy merch? Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. You can get sweatshirts, t-shirts, and not just with our Butt Fumble Sports logo, but a lot of cool designs that we've put out there. Make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. So if you're like Sam Dog 21 and you want to check out our store, we have some great shirts, some really cool designs. Make sure you go to our store, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. Getting a great note here again from our producer, Blease. Again, big shout out to Blease. Couldn't do this without you. You're the freaking man. Is this the best all-around coaching staff in a Super Bowl? The coordinators being sought at. Bieniemy, Jonathan Gannon, Spagnuolo. The answer is no. The answer is not at all, actually. It's not close. And the only reason I say that is there have been some staffs that have been unbelievably talented. Again, think about some of the staffs that, like the coaching tree that we've had in the Super Bowl or elsewhere. We've had other coaches. I'm not thinking actually, but first of all, I think Eric Bieniemy is not as good a head coach, is not as good a coordinator as people make him out to be. I think that's a lot of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Jonathan Gannon, he has a loaded defense. He's had a really good year. I'm not sure about it. Steve Spagnuolo is one of the better defensive coordinators. That guy is super talented. So it's interesting because I wouldn't say this is one of the best all-around coaching staffs. What's interesting to me is who is getting overrated and who's getting underrated. I think Spags is underrated. You think Tony gets over 27.5 receiving yards? Darius Tony. First of all, I want to see what his status is. First of all, I just want to check Tony's playing. Yeah, are hoping he can be a full go. Now let's check his stats. Let's check Kadarius Toney's under 27.5 total receiving. Man, I'm really not crazy about it. He's only hit that twice in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's only hit that twice in the last 7 weeks. I mean, I wouldn't touch it. He's coming off an injury. I wouldn't touch it. Okay, Dylan's saying there are no players listed on the Chiefs injury report, so Tony's going to play. That said, man, 27.5. He's only hit that twice. He did hit it against the Jaguars in that first, in that divisional round. I don't feel great about it. I could see it happening, hitting the over, but I'm not crazy about it. Tony, can he get through the whole game? Should be a bet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, McCole Hardman's not playing, but he was made inactive. That's how they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire back on the roster. CEH is active for this game. Okay, Hurts over under 10.5 total rush attempts. I just want to double check the stats. I think I like it, but I want to double check what the trends are saying. So this is Jalen Hurts total rushing attempts. We're just doing our research on that. So against the 49ers, he had 11. Against the Giants, he had 9. Back-to-back weeks, he had 17. I would take the over. I think they're going to have to run him in this game, so I like the over on that. You're going to be sweating it, but I actually do like the over. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Hit the link in our bio. It takes you to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for our free newsletter while you're there. Check out all of our blog content. Go to our store. Check out some of our t-shirts, sweatshirts, and other items. A lot of cool things. Duffel bag with a great stat. In close games, Hurts' average rushing attempts is 12. Love it. Love it. Okay, first kickoff is a touchback. I'll say yes. In part because I think, one, there's going to be so much electricity in the air. I think the kicker will have enough energy to put it through into the end zone. And I think early on, these teams just want to get their quarterbacks on the field. You don't want to take the ball out and get a fumble. The likelihood of a Devin Hester kick return for a touchdown is pretty low. So for that reason, just get if you're the Chiefs, just get Patrick Mahomes on the field. If you're the Eagles, let's just get Jalen Hurts on the field. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at ButtFumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. We hit 8,000 likes. Do we need to do another quick poll? People remind me. Did we do our quick poll for 8,000 likes? Have we done that yet? Just remind me. Chris Rogers, 00. Appreciate you joining us this morning. I know you were on our show last night. Appreciate you following us and joining us. I like the under. I like the under for today. So I'm being told we already did our quick poll for 8,000 likes. So let's get it up to 10,000 likes. Once we get to 10,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. Or if you guys give us the gift of a football, we will automatically do that. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. You like Hurts rushing touchdown, Dylan Hill? Yes, I do. I like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. That's been a good bet throughout the year. I like it today. Duffel Bag, appreciate the support. Duffel Bag, what do you want to do? Do you want to ask a question or do you want to do a poll? Duffel Bag, because you gave the gift of a football, I'll let you decide. Duffel Bag, what do you want to do? Do you want to do a poll or do you want to do ask a question? Up to you, Duffel Bag. How many receiving yards for Kelce? I could see anywhere from 85 to 100. Picking Mahomes over 25 completions and to have correlation with Kelce over 7 catches. DTHR, love that play. DTHR, love that play. Duffel Bag says a poll. Guess what? We're doing a poll because he gave the gift. He gets to decide. I love it. Okay, this is a big shout out, Duffel Bag. Appreciate your support. So we're doing a quick poll because Duffel Bag wanted it. Here we go. Which team will have more sacks today? Which team will have more sacks today? If you think the Chiefs is getting even money, Eagles are minus 130. So if you like the Chiefs, go with smiley face. If you like the Eagles, go with crying face. Shout out Duffel Bag for this quick poll. Which team will have more sacks today? Chiefs are even, hit the smiley face. Eagles minus 130, hit the crying face. Which team will have more sacks today? Smiley face for the Chiefs, crying face for the Eagles. This is a big shout out to Duffel Bag. We're doing this poll because he gave the gift of a football. Thank you, Duffel Bag. Smiley face Chiefs, crying face Eagles. Which team will have more sacks today? Here are the odds for it. Chiefs are even money. Eagles minus 130. Which team will have more sacks today? Smiley face for the Chiefs, even money. Crying face for the Eagles, minus 130. And a big shout out to Duffel Bag. Thank you for the gift of the football. That's why we're doing the quick poll. Smiley face for the Chiefs, crying face for the Eagles. Which team will have more sacks today? Final few seconds of the poll. Smiley face Chiefs, crying face Eagles. Final few seconds. What do you guys think? You guys say the Eagles. I agree with you. I think the Eagles minus 130 are the better bet. 2 reasons for that. They have the better defense. They have the better offensive line. I think Frank Clark and Chris Jones could get 3 or 4 sacks, but I like the Eagles to match that or surpass it. So I will take the Eagles minus 130 to get more sacks than the Chiefs. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. If you want to check out more of our content, make sure you hit the link in our bio. Takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for our free newsletter. Comes out every Friday morning with all of our gambling trends, all of our game notes for every game this weekend. This past edition had all of our notes for the Super Bowl. Make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for that free newsletter. While you're there, check out our store. A lot of cool stuff. Get yourself a t-shirt. Blasty Blast 93. Any big plays from Smith, Brown, or Watkins? Quez Watkins. Well, I don't like anything about Quez Watkins today. Yeah, Chiefs corners aren't that good. I think A.J. Brown's going to get a lot of yardage. I like Devontae Smith to get a lot of catches. By the way, a big shout out to Jorge B82 for sharing our live. So appreciate that, Jorge. The way we grow is by you guys telling others that there's a great channel for sports talk. Make sure you do, whether it's family, friends, or coworkers. Let everyone know that Butt Fumble Sports is here to talk football with them. How many touchdowns for A.J. Brown today? I don't think he's going to get a touchdown. If he does, it'll be on a deep pass. I don't think he'll get a touchdown. I think he'll get a lot of yards between the 20s, deep play option, but I don't think he gets a touchdown. Dylan Hill, Eagles defense to give up a 4th down conversion. I love it. I think both head coaches are prone to go for it on 4th down. Sirianni and Andy Reid. I could see both teams converting a 4th down today. D. Milton, 87. Pacheco over under 11.5 rushing attempts. So Pacheco has only had over 11.5 rushing attempts once in the last 4 weeks. That said, I do like that. I know the trend doesn't go in that direction, but my gut is telling me that the Chiefs are going to have to feed Pacheco in order to be successful. The only reason I'm slightly concerned is Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been activated, so maybe he takes away a couple carries from Pacheco. But if I had to, D. Milton 87, I would bet Pacheco over 11.5 rushing attempts. Do you think Mahomes is going to get hurt? No, I don't. Trey football Bengals. I think Patrick Mahomes will play the entirety of this game. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We're closing in on 41,000 followers on TikTok. Make sure you're one of them. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that share button at Butt Fumble Sports. Once we hit 10,000 likes, we will do another quick poll. Or just like Duffelbag did, if you give the gift of a football as we try to work towards our live goal, we will do a quick poll or I'll answer your question right away. So you give the gift of a football, you get to decide what we do next. If you've got questions about Super Bowl 57, let us know. What are my locks of the day? Love Pacheco over 47.5 total rushing yards. Love Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. I take him in a number of ways. Anytime touchdown, over total receptions of 7.5, and over total receiving yards 76.5, 77.5. I love Travis Kelce today. Miles Sanders under 61.5 total rushing yards is a play I like as well. I like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, and I like Jalen Hurts getting that MVP. YBC Lamb asks, Jalen Hurts over 40.5 passing yards. I actually like that. I could see him getting 250, 255. So I'll take the over on 240.5 total passing yards for Jalen Hurts. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, all the support you guys show us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Let's get up to 10,000 likes. We'll do another quick poll. If you've got questions, we've got answers about Super Bowl 57 here for everything. We have about 50 minutes left of our show. We're doing 2 shows today from now until noon, and then we will have another show from 4 p.m. right up until 6 p.m. So if you missed out on your questions, or if you want to continue to hear what other people are asking, other things I like, make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we go live. We will be back on live on TikTok and on YouTube from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. later today. But we still have 50 minutes of this show, so don't worry, we're not going anywhere just yet. Do I like the over or under? Alan Young, 79-32. I like the under today. I think these two defenses are being disrespected a bit. I like the under. Right now, the total is set at 51 points. I would buy that up. I'd get it at 51.5, and I would take the under. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Don't be bashful if you've got questions, if you've got takes. We just hit 10,000 likes, so we will do another quick poll. By the way, big shout out to Jorge B82. So appreciate you hitting that like button as many times as you have. Let's do another quick poll. Will any non-quarterback have a touchdown today? Will any non-quarterback have a touchdown today? Smiley face yes, crying face no. Will any non-quarterback have a passing touchdown today? Smiley face yes, crying face no. Let us know what you guys think. Will any non-quarterback have a passing touchdown today? Smiley face yes, crying face no. Doing a fun one here. If you guys want to jump in on this poll, will any non-quarterback have a passing touchdown today? Smiley face yes, crying face no. Clearly you guys aren't a huge fan of this poll question. Smiley face yes, crying face no. Will any non-quarterback have a passing touchdown today? Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Smiley face yes, crying face no. Will any non-quarterback have a passing touchdown today? Final few seconds of the poll because we hit 10,000 likes. Smiley face yes, crying face no. Will any non-quarterback have a passing touchdown today? Final few seconds of the poll. Majority of you guys say no. I agree with you. I say no as well. How many field goals today? Okay, that's a good question. I'm going to say 4. I'll say 3 or 4. I'm kind of on the fence. I'll say 3. I'll say 3 field goals today. I'm like 3 or 4. I'm really on the fence about it. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports. If you guys give the gift of a football as we try to get closer to our live goal, you get to decide what we do next, whether it's a poll or I'll answer your question. If you give the gift of a football, you get to decide what I talk about. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you hit the link in our bio. Hit the link in our bio. Takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for that free newsletter on our website. Get a lot of good info every week. A Baltimorean, 50-plus pass completions, like it. 50-plus field goal, like it. Plus 700 on my site. My thoughts? A Baltimorean, I really like that. I could absolutely see 50-plus passing attempts, or pass completions rather. I love that. And a 50-plus yard field goal, I do like that as well. Do I think the Chiefs will convert on a 4th down tonight? Yes, I do. I could see both teams converting on a 4th down. Both of these head coaches, they like to take risk. They like to take chance. In this kind of game, I could both see them going forward on a 4th down, and I could see both teams converting. If any of you guys want to control what we do, whether it's a poll or answering your question, make sure you give the gift of a football as we try to work towards our live goal. And of course, here for another 50 minutes or so, 48 minutes. We're going to go right up until noon. Then I'm going to take a break. We will jump back on live from 4 to 6 p.m. So in case you missed us over the last hour and 15 minutes, we will be back later, but still have about 45 minutes left of this show. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're following us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And for all of those watching on TikTok Live, make sure you check out our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports. Make sure you subscribe there. We have some great graphics that are up, a lot of things to check out while you're watching the show. So if you like our broadcast, make sure you go to our YouTube channel at some point. Check that out, Fumble Sports. Kelce will find the end zone tonight as well, right? Yes, he will. King, I definitely like Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. If you want to check out some of our player prop bets, make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. I published a number of our player prop bets earlier today, so there's a link in our bio. Hit that link, takes you right to our website. Check out one of our blogs, buttfumblesports.com. While you're there, sign up for the free newsletter and check out our store, of course. You can get merchandise just like this. I asked this last night during one of our lives. We did a couple lives yesterday. We're doing a lot more lives, so make sure you're following us. That way you know every time I go live. But one of the questions I asked, what is an essential part of your Super Bowl party today? When it comes to food, what is an essential part of your Super Bowl party today? So, is it wings? Is it nachos? What are some of the essentials? Some people last night said pizza, and I was like, you could have pizza on any Super Bowl, or on any Sunday with football. So I'm curious to know, while we're talking about bets and everything else, let me know some of the foods that you're definitely having today. Kevin, what are some of my locks for today? Well, I love the under. I like the Eagles -1. I like Kelce anytime touchdown. I really like Kelce on everything. Travis Kelce over receptions, over receiving yards, anytime touchdown. I love Isaiah Pacheco Over 47.5 total rushing yards. Love that play as well. So that's definitely a favorite one for me. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Goddard anytime touchdown, asks Andrew 14. Not a terrible play. Probably something I would put a unit down on. I wouldn't put too much money down on it, but I could see it happening. Okay, King asks Mahomes 38.5 passing attempts. That seems a little high for me. I want to check that. In part, it seems a little high because of how good that the Eagles are against the pass. 38.5 passing attempts. Yeah, that's way too high for me. I'm taking under 38.5 passing attempts. I'll also take under 288.5 passing yards. I'll take the under on both of them. Andrew 14, Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Yep, Andrew 14, I do like that play. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. If you guys have questions about my game pick, total play, or any player prop bets that I like, make sure you throw those questions in the chat. We're here to answer all of it. We have about 45 minutes left of the show, so throw in those questions. Andrew 14 asks Miles Sanders anytime touchdown. Yep, I'm about that as well. I don't like Sanders' total yards today, but I do like him in the red zone finding the end zone. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports. Interesting, the Broncos have interviewed Rex Ryan as a potential hire for their defensive coordinator position. Can you imagine Sean Payton and Rex Ryan as a part of the same coaching staff? That would be fire. That would be amazing. Okay, what is the best site to place these bets? Okay, I am Batman31. This is not an endorsement. We aren't sponsored by one of the sports books yet. I'm sure at some point that will happen. But that said, I use Bovada. I know a lot of you guys like to use DraftKings or FanDuel. I have no issue with them. I use Bovada only because I've been using them for years, but a number of places are really strong. Again, I don't have an endorsement deal with any of these companies. I'm sure in the future I'll probably sign something or partner with one of these companies, but for now I'll only speak to the sports book that I use. I use Bovada. Jorge B82, appreciate you hitting that like button as many times you have. Hurts over 10.5 rushing attempts. I'll say yes. I'll go over that. Mahomes over 25.5 completions. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take the under on total completions for Mahomes, under 25.5. He hasn't hit that since December 4th against the Titans. He hasn't had over 25.5 completions since December 4th against the Titans. That's a long time ago. And again, number one pass defense in the regular season, so it's not like passing against the Eagles is going to be a successful venture. Okay, Andrew 14's asking about Goddard over 4.5 completions. 4.5 completions? No. 4.5 receptions? I wouldn't touch that either. Not a play I like to make. I wouldn't touch Goddard's receptions. Okay, user asks Mahomes over under passing yards. Under half a passing yard? I don't understand that one, user. You're going to have to explain that. Should the 49ers fire Shanahan? Absolutely not. He's one of the best head coaches in the NFL. He literally ran out of quarterbacks. He ran out of healthy quarterbacks. I can't give Kyle Shanahan a hard time about that. I am very high on the Eagles defense today for a couple reasons. One, it is the best defense in the NFL this year. Like, statistically, it is. I understand the 49ers were number 2, but the Eagles were the best defense against the pass. Really good defense when it comes to applying pressure. That's one. 2, they're healthy. We haven't talked about any injuries on the Eagles' defensive side of the ball. That's a big part of it. And 3, if I take away Travis Kelce, who on the Chiefs is going to beat me? Even if Travis Kelce has a big game, I feel like in Super Bowls, it takes a 1-2 punch. You've got to have at least one good receiver and either a good running back or a second receiving option. And I feel like the Chiefs are a little limited when it comes to offensive options. So I am really high on the Eagles defense today. How many starters are out for the Chiefs? Well, Obviously, everyone's healthy, no one being listed on their injury report. Mecole Hardman was placed on the IR with a pelvic injury, so he isn't playing. But other than that, supposedly all the Chiefs are ready to go today. Not surprising. This is why we have 2 weeks. The NFL wants to see two healthy teams go at it. We have about 40 minutes left of our show, 40 minutes left of this show. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumble Sports. Hit that follow button. And of course, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in our bio. Takes you right to our website. Sign up for our free newsletter. Comes out every Friday with all of my picks, game notes, and gambling trends for all the picks this weekend and every weekend. So make sure you go to our website, sign up for that free newsletter. And while you're there, go to our store, check out our sweatshirts, t-shirts, all of our merchandise, buttfumblesports.com. So Bob Trent is saying we're overrating the Eagles a little bit. See, I feel like the opposite. I feel like not enough people are giving the Eagles love. I feel like too many people are actually giving the Chiefs some love. I don't know why. The Chiefs, I know they were an explosive offense. They score a lot of points. But for a number of reasons, they're not that dynamic on offense. Like, MVS played a much bigger role in the AFC Championship game than he probably should have. So if you take away Travis Kelce, or even if you just let him get his, who is the other guy who's going to help beat the Eagles? It's one of the reasons I like the Eagles today. Okay, Hurts over 297.5 total yards. Okay, D. Milton 87. Is that rushing plus receiving yards? If it is, I like the over. If it's passing yards, under. But if it's total yards, rushing plus receiving, I do like the over. I think he'll account for over 300 total yards. Yeah, D. Milton 87, I like that bet. I could see him rushing for 50 yards. I could see him passing for 250 yards. I like the over total yards there. Over 297.5 total yards contributed by Jalen Hurts either through the air or on the ground. Answering all of your Super Bowl 57 questions, whether it's questions about game picks, total plays, player prop bets. We're just shooting the shit, having a lot of fun, talking some NFL football for the last time of this season. So make sure you throw your questions in the chat. Like I mentioned, we have about 38 minutes remaining of this show. We will end there. Then we will go live again at 4 p.m. We will do another 2-hour show from 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. So if you missed our show the last hour and a half, you can check it out on YouTube, or you can follow, subscribe, and that way you'll know when we go live at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at ButtFumble Sports. Feel free to throw your questions in the chat. We're here for all of it. One thing I asked earlier, what are some of the foods that you guys are looking forward to today? Like if you guys have a Super Bowl party, what are some of the essentials? Would love to know what you guys are doing for your Super Bowl party. Okay, relentless trading cards. First touchdown scorer. I really don't like first touchdown scorer bets. I feel like it's lighting money on fire and hoping you can stamp it out in time to still use it. That said, Miles Sanders, Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Kelce, Jalen Hurts. Those are the 4 names that come to mind. Wayne, appreciate you joining us. Unfortunate that you have to work. Make sure you're following us. That way you know when we go live anytime. Bryce Allen, more Butker, Elliott, 3 field goals, or Goddard, Tony, over, under, touchdown. It's Butker, Elliott. I feel like Butker and Elliott are going to get 3 field goals, if not more. Appreciate all of you guys joining us and following us. Just like Wayne, appreciate you following us. We are building this incredible audience here at ButtFumble Sports. Make sure you're a part of it. Okay, Bryce Allen. Sausage, cool. White queso, fire. Rotel, I don't know what Rotel is. And meatballs. Oh, we got a meatball shout out. What are some of the foods you guys are making or having for your Super Bowl party? Love to hear it. Okay, Mahomes, 18 rushing yards. I love this player prop bet. I took this earlier today while I was doing some research before the show. I saw Mahomes over under 18 rushing yards. I took the over. I feel like that's just an easy bet. I think the ankle's going to be better. He's going to get pressure. There are going to be times he's going to have to scramble. So unless he's taking some kneel downs, I do like over Patrick Mahomes over 18 rushing yards. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Keep hitting that like button. Make sure you hit the like button. And of course, Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter, answering all of your questions for another 35 minutes or so. If you have questions about the game, doesn't actually have to be player prop bets. Can be some of these random prop bets as well. What the Super Bowl Gatorade color will be that's dumped on the winning head coach. Over under on the national anthem. Heads or tails. We're here to answer all of it. Okay, picks for Prize Pick 6, man. Money dumb. I've never done the Prize Pick 6. First of all, let me know if that's worth doing. And other than that, let me know what I have to give you to be able to fill that out for you. More than happy to do it. Prize Picks 6. I've never done that. Is that good? Do you guys like that Prize Picks 6-leg parlay? Is that something you guys like to do? Do you think there will be a field goal in the first quarter? Yes, I would take so. I actually think that it's more likely you get a field goal in the first quarter than a touchdown. DraftKings isn't allowing any more SGP for Super Bowl. Really? I'm kind of surprised, actually. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports. If you've got questions, we've got answers. And it can be about anything Super Bowl related. Can be about the bets, can be about the game, can be about my analysis. Anything you guys want to talk about. We have about 35 minutes left of our show. Yeah, Bryce Allen. One thing I'll definitely mention. Parlays are traps. One of my good friends who's better out in Vegas, who helps the Vegas odds makers set their lines. One thing he always tells me is parlays are the penny slots of Vegas. You might hit a jackpot every now and then, but you are putting in a lot of money every time you chase it. So going after straight bets is usually the way to go. Okay, 2 or 3 player parlays is my money maker. Yeah, I like player parlays a lot. I like Patrick Mahomes over an interception. Isaiah Pacheco over his total rushing yards. Travis Kelce over receptions, total receiving yards, anytime touchdown. Love those as well. Best bets, those are a few that I really like. Pacheco over rushing yards is one I really like. Also, for all of those out there, one of these quarterbacks is going to be the MVP. So whichever team that you're betting on, also put money down on their quarterback winning the MVP. The reason I say that is the first Super Bowl between 2 African-American quarterbacks. If the NFL were to give the Super Bowl MVP to someone else, I would be shocked. From a PR standpoint, I feel like this is an obvious one. Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes is going to win the MVP. Okay, on the green 13, Pacheco over under 1.5 receptions. We did our research on that. We said we shouldn't touch it. It's a trap. It's not a good bet to make. Look for Jerick McKinnon to be involved in the passing game, but I'm not crazy about Pacheco. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Duffelbag asks, Eagles and under 51? That's exactly right. Duffelbag, I like Eagles on the money line. I like Eagles -1, and I like the under 51 points. I did buy a 1.5 just so I wouldn't bump my head on the ceiling. So I did get under 52.5, but I like those plays. Eagles on the money line, Eagles -1, and under 52.5 after I buy a 1.5. Those are definitely the plays of the day for me. By the way, there's also a basketball game going on today between the Grizzlies and the Celtics. We did put out a game pick video for that one. So if you want to check out that game pick video, go to YouTube, Butt Fumble Sports, our YouTube channel. Make sure you check that out. It's not only football today. It might feel that way, but it's not. Okay, what about Pacheco over under 68.5 receiving plus rushing yards? I'm not crazy about it. In part because I feel like almost all of that would be rushing yards. So if you like 68.5 rushing plus receiving yards, you probably should put down some more bets on like over 60 rushing yards, over 47.5 total rushing yards. I don't think Pacheco is going to get that many receiving yards. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports. And of course, make sure you go to our website. The link is in the bio. Hit the link in our bio. Takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can check out a lot of our content. We've put out bets there, some game analysis, and of course, There's a free newsletter, comes out every Friday with all of our game notes and gambling trends for all the games in the weekend. We did that on Friday, so you got our Super Bowl notes. If you signed up, make sure you're going to our website, signing up for that free newsletter, and while you're there, go to the store, get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a sweatshirt. Bryce Allen saying, agree, don't take any Pacheco lines when it comes to receiving plus rushing plus receiving. I love Pacheco on rushing yards. Receiving yards, I'm not crazy about it at all. By the way, big shout out to all of those who are sharing our channel with others. The way we grow is through you guys telling other people. This is an organic growth model, so appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you tell others, friends, family, coworkers. There's a great channel for sports talk, but Fumble Sports. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. We've been live now for 90 straight minutes. We have 30 minutes to go. We'll be answering all of your questions for another 30 minutes. Then we're going to take a break. We will come back live at 4 p.m. this afternoon, and we will be live from 4 p.m. right up until 6 p.m. So make sure you're following us. That way you know when we go live, and you can join the show later this afternoon. By the way, big shout out Bryce Allen 80. Appreciate you hitting that like button as many times you have. Appreciate the support you guys have shown us today. Bryce Allen 80, big shout out to you. Appreciate all you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Anything you need for Super Bowl 57, game picks, total plays, player prop bets, or if you just want to talk about what you're doing for your Super Bowl party, what your thoughts are on these two teams, we're here for all of it. We have 30 minutes left of our show, so make sure you get in the conversation. But Fumble Sports is here to talk all things NFL. By the way, there is a concert that's going to be happening in the metaverse today. We do sports talk in the metaverse, but Fumble Sports bringing sports talk into the metaverse. So if you're watching in the metaverse, make sure you check us out. We do a Tuesday show in the metaverse every Tuesday from 7 to 8 o'clock. So make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Okay, best player prop bets for today. I'm very big on Travis Kelce. Over receptions, over receiving yards, anytime touchdown. I love Isaiah Pacheco over 47.5 total rushing yards. Big fan of that. I like Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown. I like Miles Sanders under his total rushing yards. And finally, I like Jalen Hurts on the MVP. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Bryce Allen 80, food, taco meat. Okay. We're going tacos today. I see how it is. I had someone last night tell me that they were ordering Philly cheesesteaks. That's how big they are on supporting their Eagles today. So appreciate all of you guys joining us. I like the Eagles to win today. I like Eagles on the money line. I also like the Eagles -1. I did take the Chiefs +3 earlier in the week after I bought the 1.5. So I feel like I'm on both sides of this one pretty well. But I do like Eagles on the money line and Eagles -1. Eric, Youngstown State and Cleveland State prediction. Okay, I'm willing to play along. Let's check out some of those trends. I'm not going to do too many randos today, but I'm willing to play along for a little bit. What's that? Youngstown State. Okay, what I'm seeing is Youngstown State -2.5 is a really strong play, actually. So this is a shout out to Eric Sells Homes. Eric Sells Homes, big shout out to you. You're asking about a random play. I really like Youngstown State to cover. Youngstown State to cover. Definitely one I'm looking at. By the way, in that game, the over is a great play in Youngstown State, Cleveland State. By the way, if you have gambling questions, we're here for all of it. I'll just give you my trends. I'll go to where I go to always get my information. Not saying it's a bet that I would make, but if you ask, I'll answer. On Bovada, how much is $100 winning on Chiefs money line, Kelce touchdown, and Mahomes MVP? Okay, so you can't parlay those bets. That's one thing I'll say. Not on Bovada, at least. $100 on Bovada on the Chiefs to win. I believe you're getting that at even money. You're getting that at you're getting that at -105. So if you bet 100, you get $95 in winnings. Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown. I believe I saw that at minus 135. So there you go. And Mahomes MVP, I'm pretty sure that I saw that at plus 135. Plus 135. Okay. Getting another question in here about some random college basketball, but I'm here for it. Michigan State, Ohio State. What do I like? Michigan State, Ohio State. I love Ohio State in that game. Ohio State on the money line. Ohio State against Michigan State. I like Ohio State on the money line. The home team is 15-5-1 against the spread in the last 21 meetings. The favorite is 12-3 against the spread in the last 15 meetings. One other note, I like the over in that game as well. So in the Michigan State-Ohio State game, I'll take Ohio State on the money line, and I'll take the over. Again, if you've got questions about gambling, it doesn't have to be about the NFL. We're here for all of it. By the way, King, I understand that's why a lot of people like FanDuel and DraftKings so you can get those parlays. One of the reasons I like Bovada is I feel like those parlays are traps. I know you could turn like $10 into $1 million and everyone goes crazy and sends those out. But I feel like those are traps. Like I mentioned, a lot of the friends I have that work in Vegas work for these sports books, specifically one that I'm very close to. He always tells me parlays are the penny slots of Vegas, of sports betting. You may hit a jackpot every month, but it takes so much money to generate that jackpot, it's really not worth it. Okay, Skillet Man 94. I like Celtics on the money line. I actually bought the points and took the Grizzlies to cover. I got it at 4.5 and I bought it up to 6. So I like Celtics on the money line. I like Grizzlies plus 6. And I also like for that game, I like the over. So one more time for the Grizzlies-Celtics game. There's a game pick video we put out. You can check that out on YouTube. But I like Celtics money line, Grizzlies plus 6, and the over. Okay, Eric, you're asking about that Purdue-Northwestern game. By the way, happy to answer all of these questions. Doesn't just have to be about the NFL. Happy to answer all these questions. I like Purdue in that game on the money line. I like Purdue on the money line. And I also like the over. So Purdue on the money line, and I like the over in Purdue-Northwestern. Yeah, Deadpool, I do like the Eagles on the money line, and I like the Eagles -1. Eagles money line and Eagles -1. Yeah, Northwestern, I don't like them pulling off the upset today. Purdue has a loss within one of their last 2 games. Obviously, they beat Iowa in their most recent game, but I think Purdue is the best team in the country. I know they're on the road against Northwestern. Northwestern isn't that bad, but I like Purdue on the money line. Dan, I like the Celtics on the money line today. I like Celtics on the money line. Purdue hasn't played a defense like Northwestern? Yes, they have. What are you talking about? First of all, Northwestern's defense isn't that good. And second of all, yeah, they have. Any solid player prop bets that I like today? I like Isaiah Pacheco over 47.5 total rushing yards. I like Travis Kelce hitting a number of overs today. Over receptions, over receiving yards, and an anytime touchdown. I like Miles Sanders under his total rushing yards. I like Patrick Mahomes under his total passing yards. I like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. And I like Jalen Hurts as the MVP. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And at Sports Fumble on Twitter. If you've got questions about anything happening this weekend, we're all about it. Appreciate you guys joining us. By the way, Purdue is a top 25 defense. All I'm saying is yes, Purdue has played defenses of that caliber, and Purdue's going to win that game. That's what I'm saying. So someone asked, where do I go to get my information? I go to a couple places. Oddshark is one of them. Covers.com is one of them. I do a lot of research when it comes to player prop bets. I like to go to game logs, so I'll go to ESPN for a player. Like, for example, when we talked about Patrick Mahomes, I go to his player log on ESPN. I see how he's done in his most recent games. I also like to check the splits. So for me, Oddshark, Covers.com, and ESPN. Also, you can go to Pro Football Reference or Pro Football Stats. Those are places I love to go. Same with college basketball, covers.com. I'll also go to basketball stats as well. And that way I can get my research and not just go off of brand names. By the way, I know Northwestern's allowing 62 points, and they're 21st in the country. They're playing Purdue. Purdue is the #1 team in the country. So all those people who are now coming at me being like, Northwestern's got a great defense. All right, man, we'll see. If Northwestern pulls off the upset today, you can come at me. I will be back on live at 4 p.m. today. If Northwestern wins, all you Northwestern supporters or all those people who don't agree with my pick of Purdue, you can come back. You can come back at 4, and you can tell me I was wrong. I'll be here for it. I'll be here at 4 p.m. I'm here for it. And by the way, Nathan, love the support, appreciate the follow, and I love talking sports. Do I think I'm right 100% of the time? Nope. I just do my research, put in the time, come out with the analysis I do, disagree or agree, all good. King, that's 4 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. We have about 20 minutes left of our show now. Then I'm going to take a break, get my voice right, and then we will come back at 4 p.m. Eastern time to do another 2-hour show. We will be live from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., taking you up until the Super Bowl. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Hit that follow button. That way you know every time we go live. Robert, I like the Eagles on the money line today. I'm picking the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at SportsFumble on Twitter. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Throw them in the chat. Under 20 minutes left of our show. You don't want to miss opportunities to ask questions. We will be live later today. But if that's not going to be convenient for you, make sure you throw your questions in now. We haven't given out too many game notes today, so I'll hand out a few of those since I'm waiting on you guys to throw some more questions in the chat. As an underdog, Patrick Mahomes is 6-3 straight up, 7-1-1 against the spread in his career. Here's a question from A. Baltimorean. You think that taking an under on a bet is it overlooked by some people? Always. The under is always overlooked because people naturally want points. Like the human instinct is I want offense, I want points. The under is almost always overlooked. The under is always interesting to play. Obviously, you're going to sweat it the whole time. If you get into an overtime situation like yesterday, I had Duke, Virginia under. If that game ends in regulation, even if Duke hits the free throws, I cash. The moment it goes to overtime, I miss. But the under gets overlooked too often. So I do think that kind of the majority of people want to play the over. So the under is something I always look at. Where do you see Northwestern ending up seed line in the tournament? That's a really, really interesting question. I haven't done my bracketology yet. We're getting closer to that. I think Northwestern has a chance of punching its ticket, but I see them being a double-digit seed. So because they played in the Big Ten, I think that's going to help them. But they need to finish off strong, and they'll probably need a decent Big Ten tournament to kind of secure the seeding that they want. Okay, King asked Kenneth Gainwell, 19.5 rushing yards. I mentioned earlier, I'm not touching Kenneth Gainwell today or Boston Scott. Both of those guys are a bit too risky for me, so I'm avoiding it. Wow, Robert has KC by 10. I'm going the other direction. I like the Eagles to cover. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us. Hit that follow button, ButtFumble Sports. And of course, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for our free newsletter. While you're there, check out our merchandise as well. Jared Ford, you've been a loyal supporter today. Appreciate you, Jared. MVS over 25 receiving yards. I'll go with it. I'll go with MVS over 25 receiving yards. I think out of pure desperation, Mahomes will have to try to find him at times when Kelce's double covered. I think he's going to have to involve him, so over 25 yards seems about right. I am going to double check those stats. So MVS He has over 25 receiving yards in 3 of his last 5 games. One of the reasons I like that. Now, keep in mind, 2 of those games are 27 and 28 yards, but I do like MVS over 25 receiving yards today. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. We have about 15 minutes left of our show. We will be coming back on live at 4 p.m. So if you're missing our questions now or you want to come back later, make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we go live. Okay, A.J. Brown over 40 plus. Yes, I like A.J. Brown over 40 receiving yards, and I do like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. No one has been able to stop Kelce, reads the defenses so well. David, I completely agree with you. One of the reasons I like Travis Kelce today so much is you can have a game plan for Travis Kelce, but he kind of defeats that, and how he, as you point out, how he reads defenses, how he finds the openings in the defense, whether it's man or zone. He does such a great job. Great chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. I really like Travis Kelce's bets today over receptions, over receiving yards, and I do like an anytime touchdown as well. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday. So excited for the Super Bowl this afternoon. Make sure you're following us. We'll have another pregame show from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. today. So make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we go live. I want to give a big shout out to the Fumble Sports team, the guys behind the scenes. Number 1 on that list is Bleece. Couldn't do this without you, Bleece. You're an unbelievable supporter and teammate. Want to give a big shout out to him. Also want to give a big shout out to a number of our other editors and teammates out here. Big shout out to Alex Hallmark. He's done an incredible job for us all year. Kyle Phelps, he's done a brilliant job coming off the bench and doing a great job with our game pick videos. Want to give a big shout out to T-Dog. Does a wonderful job. David Rothschild, excited to have you join the team. Junior and Victor. There are a lot of people that make this company possible. Want to give a big shout out to all of them. I know it may seem easy to just go on TikTok Live and talk sports, but without the support of the team behind me, we would not be the same quality of company or quality of content. So appreciate all the guys behind the scenes, guys and girls. You know who you are. Thank you so much. An incredible team that we have at Fumble Sports. Make sure you guys are following us. We're just getting started here at Fumble Sports. We're going to be putting out a lot of content. We're excited about March Madness. So don't worry, we're going to be doing a lot of great things over the coming weeks and months. Make sure you're following us. David, other teams have to try to double Kelce. Doesn't work. He still gets open. Exactly. I think you're going to see the Eagles do a decent job today in their double coverage, underneath, over-the-top coverage. Even there, I think Travis Kelce is going to get his. Okay, King asks, out of these, which do you like the most? Kelce touchdown, Chiefs to convert a 4th down, first quarter field goal by both teams. I'll probably say Kelce anytime touchdown's the play I like the most. Out of those 3, Kelce anytime touchdown's the one I like the most. Chiefs 4th down conversion would be number 2. Both teams getting a field goal in the first quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't hit. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. And of course, make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in our bio. Takes you right to our website. Sign up for the free newsletter. And while you're there, buy yourself some merchandise, sweatshirts, hats, t-shirts, so many cool things. Buttfumblesports.com. Everything you guys need. Will we have a 100-yard wide receiver? If we do, to me, it's A.J. Brown. So I say no. I think no. But if it is, it's A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert, 25 plus yards. I'll say yes. I'll say yes to that for Dallas Goedert. Under 15 minutes left of our show, coming down to the final few minutes. Make sure you throw your questions in the chat. We will be back live at 4 p.m. today. But you'll want to get your chats and bets in now. Obviously, there's going to be line movement over the next few hours. So make sure you're throwing your questions in now. That way you're placing your bet before the public changes those odds. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Jalen Hurts, 2 rushing touchdowns. Nope, that's too many for me. I'll take the 1, and I'll be perfectly happy with that. 1 rushing touchdown for Jalen Hurts is what I have predicted. Ewo, what up? So, Dimitri says Eagles on the money line. I agree with you. I like Eagles on the money line. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports. I mean, either team making a field goal in the first quarter. King, I like that. That I like. Yep, I like that one. Getting word that the Eagles offensive coordinator right now is the favorite to be the Colts head coach. Rumors are coming out of Indianapolis that Shane Steichen, he's going to be the next head coach of the Indianapolis Colts is being rumored. I can see the Chiefs on 3rd and 4th down, one play, Kelce quarterback, 2 defensive big backs to push him in. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. It would cash our anytime touchdown with Travis Kelce. I wouldn't mind that. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Again, we will be live again at 4 p.m., so if you missed any of the conversation over the last 2 hours, there will be a chance to jump back in the conversation at 4. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, supporting us. You guys are unbelievable. So appreciate the Butt Fumble Sports community. I'm betting on Jackson Mahomes coming in at wide receiver. Okay, is Jackson Mahomes the most annoying sibling in the history of football? Like, Patrick Mahomes' brother, Jackson Mahomes, is so obnoxious. Like, he's incredibly entitled. He makes the most annoying videos. He talks a ton of trash. And other than being Patrick Mahomes' brother, I literally have no idea who he is, what he does. Patrick Mahomes' brother, Jackson Mahomes, is like the worst of the worst. I understand Patrick Mahomes' wife is like annoying. Fine. There are plenty of wives or girlfriends that are annoying. Patrick Mahomes' brother might be my least favorite athlete brother of all time. Like, that dude is so obnoxious, so annoying. He does so many things too that are like, are you an idiot? Like, you're literally like dancing on the number of someone who just died. Like, you make such annoying videos. Like, who are you, dude? Like, do you have a life, a career? I'm sure you're an influencer just like everyone else. But honestly, like, what do you do? Who are you? Like, you could be Jake from State Farm and I wouldn't know you. Like, who are you, dude? Miles Sanders, anytime touchdown. I do like that play. I don't like Sanders for rushing yards today, but I do like Sanders anytime touchdown. That is a play that I like. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports. You're not worried about Jalen Hurts possibly choking. You think he's right for the moment. Okay, the reason I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts isn't new to this. He's played in national championship games in college. So Jalen Hurts playing in a big-time game, this isn't someone coming from a nothing program or working his way up through the NFL. This is someone who's actually become accustomed to the spotlight. I know he got replaced by Tua in a national championship game, but he's been in big games before. He knows what it takes to win. I'm not worried about it. Oh my God, this is a great question. Would you rather spend a week with Johnny Manziel or spend a day with Jackson Mahomes? Not even close. I'd spend a week with Johnny Manziel. I'm sure Johnny Football has a ton of stories. I think Johnny Manziel was a tool, don't get me wrong. But I don't think Johnny Manziel was like obnoxious to hang out with. I thought he was just a tool for like his antics from afar. But I'm sure if you hung out with Johnny Manziel, like going to clubs or whatever, I'm sure he was a good time. Jackson Mahomes might be one of the most annoying human beings I've like ever come across ever on social media, in person, ever. Like Jackson Mahomes, way more annoying. I would not be able to take 24 hours of Jackson Mahomes. Yeah, a week with Johnny Manziel is the easiest take on that. A day with Jackson Mahomes would be insufferable. Not at all. Would not want that. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us. We're having a lot of fun just talking some randomness now. You can tell we're getting to the end of our show because we've now come into Jackson Mahomes hatred mode. But that said, if you've got questions, we've got answers about everything related to this Super Bowl. Am I smart to bet on Jalen Hurts throwing under 238 passing yards? I wouldn't touch it. I actually like the over. If you're feeling like the under is a good play, I just wouldn't touch it. I actually think that the over could happen, in part because Chiefs are good against the run, not great against the pass. I think Jalen Hurts may have to pass his way to a Super Bowl title. Okay, Couple player prop bets since we're getting questions about them. I like Travis Kelce in a number of ways. Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. Travis Kelce over total receptions. Travis Kelce over total receiving yards. I also like Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown. I like Jalen Hurts as the Super Bowl MVP. I like Patrick Mahomes under his passing yards total. I like Miles Sanders under his rushing yards total. And I like Isaiah Pacheco over his rushing yards total. Pacheco over his rushing yards total is one of my favorite bets of the day. I don't think Pacheco will get 2 touchdowns, though. That seems a little high. We have 5 minutes left of our show. 5 minutes left. We've gone 2 hours live. We will be live again at 4 p.m. today. So if you want more of this conversation, more of this ripping on Jackson Mahomes, we will be here for it at 4 p.m. later today. So make sure you join us at 4 p.m. Which defense is better? It's the Eagles. The Eagles by far is the better defense, no question. What do you think Kelce anytime touchdown with KC winning the margin by 1 to 6 points? I love that play. Like, if you think the Chiefs are going to win, I don't think they're going to blow out the Eagles. So a 1 to 6 point margin and a Kelce anytime touchdown, I like it. Now, I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. That's me. But if you want to put that bet down, it's not a bad one. What's my favorite prop bet of the day? Probably Pacheco over 47.5 total rushing yards. Like I mentioned, I like Travis Kelce in a number of different ways. I like his player prop bets as well. Do I think Pacheco gets 2 receptions? We did this research earlier in the show. I really don't like it. I wouldn't touch it. If you think a running back is going to get receptions today, think Jerick McKinnon. Don't think Pacheco. We just have a couple minutes left to make sure you're throwing in your questions. We will be taking a break for a couple hours and then jumping back on TikTok Live and on YouTube at 4 p.m. So make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we go live and you can join the show. We will be going live from 4 p.m. till 6 p.m. later this afternoon. You won't want to miss that action. So make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. Again, that's at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you're following us. We will do another 2-hour show from 4 to 6 p.m. How many sacks for the Eagles? I could see it being 3.5, 4 sacks. I like the total over the total sacks today by these two teams combined. I got it at 5. Elsewhere, I've seen it at 5.5. Okay, the Gant fam is saying Hassan Reddick, 2 sacks, forced fumble, and the MVP. The only reason I'm not saying the MVP is, yes, there are certain things in sports that I don't think are rigged, but I think that, I don't want to say scripted, but the league has an interest in seeing a certain outcome. I think the league wants to see one of these African-American quarterbacks be the Super Bowl MVP. This is the first Super Bowl between 2 African-American starting quarterbacks. I feel like the NFL doesn't want to miss out on the opportunity to anoint one of them, one of the MVPs. So Jalen Hurts, if you like the Eagles, Patrick Mahomes, if you like the Chiefs, I think one of those guys is going to be the Super Bowl MVP. I think it'd be really hard for another player to get it. Kid Racer, appreciate you joining us. You've got the Eagles on the money line. I do as well. I like the Eagles on the money line and the Eagles to cover. By the way, the Gant fam, if you do want to take a long shot bet, Hassan Reddick is a great play. Chris Jones, Frank Clark. Like, there are players you could get in that MVP bet that would be great odds. All I'm saying is I'm trying to give you the best analysis and best logic I can. Hard for me to think that the quarterbacks are not going to be voted MVP. That's just me trying to help you out. But there are some long shot bets for MVP that might be fun to put money down on, but it would take a massive game for one of these guys to overcome the quarterbacks in the MVP vote. Okay, 2 minutes left of our show. 2 minutes left of our show. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Again, we will go live at 4 p.m. later today, so make sure you're following us. That way you join us when we go live. Somebody would have to do something amazing. Yeah, exactly. Completely agree. A Baltimore on. Wild Dog says Super Bowl over 51. I'm going the other direction. I'm going under 51 points. I actually bought 1.5 points to make sure I don't bump my head on the total. So I got under 52.5 points. That's the bet I made. Under 52.5 points. That's the bet I made. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. We have just 1 minute left of our show. I want to give a massive shout out to the team behind the scenes, but even maybe more importantly, I want to shout out you guys, the audience. 2 straight hours of talking Super Bowl 57, and it went by so fast because of the support you guys show us. You guys hit the like button. You guys share the chat. You guys follow the channel. I hope you guys go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for that free newsletter. And of course, buy yourself some merchandise, sweatshirts, t-shirts, a lot of different merch. Go to our store, buttfumblesports.com. So appreciate the support you guys show us. We're a sports content company focused on delivering for sports fans. We're so glad we got to entertain you for the last 2 hours. I'm going to jump off live now. Appreciate you guys watching. We will be back at 4 p.m. today. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., another 2-hour show starting at 4 p.m. today on TikTok Live and on YouTube. Make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we go live. Can't wait to see you guys again at 4 p.m. You guys are absolutely the best. Couldn't ask any more of you. You're so great. Make sure you're following us. I'll see you at 8. Make sure you're following us. I'll see you at 4 p.m. We'll do this all again live then. See you then. Hope you have a great afternoon.